Official Wrestling presents Marking Out. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Marking Out. I'm just doing a little brief introduction. My first ever guest was a man I've known practically since I've started in the wrestling business, a man who got me my start in the wrestling business, got me my first ever ring announcing gig, and of course it is Disco Bert Fabulous. We recorded in the wonderful Cinema Bar in St. Helens. If you're ever in the area, please go and check it out, but always remember to drink responsibly. They gave us the back room all to ourselves. It was a little busier than we were expecting it to be, but nevertheless, it was a really fun experience, and I had a great time for my first ever Marking Out interview. Hopefully, there'll be many more of these Marking Out interviews to come your way. And but for now, please enjoy our first ever Marking Out interview with Disco Bert Fabulous.
Can you hear me?
There we go. So I'm here with Disco Bert Fabulous for our first ever Marking Out interview session, podcast thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Say hello. Don't be shy.
Hello, don't be shy.
And that's the type of interview this is going to be. What I'm going to get you to do first, just to break the ice for anyone who's listening who doesn't know you. I don't know how that's even possible. But if you know how when you go to an event and you'll buy a program and they'll have all your picture and they'll have your bio in the top corner.
Is this a wrestling event?
Yeah, you know, like if you go to WWE.
Yeah, I've never been in WWE, so...
If you go to watch a WWE show, right, and you go and you buy the program and it's got the big booklet of all the
it's like a tour program, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it has the bio in the top corner, right?
Yeah.
I'd like you to do, so it'll have your name, your nickname, height, where you're from, what your finisher is. I'd like you to do your bio for us.
Oh.
Just as a jumping off point.
It's a PG podcast.
Not really, no.
Oh,
we say fuck a lot.
Fuck.
Pretty sure I called the owner of 5 Star a cunt on the last one.
So ask me, and then... You what?
On one of our old episodes, called the owner of 5 Star a cunt because of code. So...
It's your podcast.
I can believe it out.
My name is Dave the Brave.
So I need your name, where you're from, name and nickname. Let's go with that.
Disco Bert. That's all you need to know, so you can't find me on Facebook.
Your height.
Height. No, I don't know the official.
Right.
5'9.5".
Okay.
5'11",
hometown.
St. Helens.
And your finishing move.
See, I don't have one. I don't win. No. I tend to do maybe a top rope moonsault. But that finishes me more often than
it finishes off the opponent.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump off from a recent thing that I saw, which was you and your longtime partner Dave the Rave Desire winning the BWP tag team titles. Is that the first one you guys have won together, titles wise?
Yeah, it was. That was pretty cool. To do it with someone who started out training with. That tag team, a lot of people love it, a few people hate it. But regardless, that tag team shouldn't have really happened.
Right.
Because let's just say there's a couple of factors, like Dave got injured quite badly, and he was put out of action. He did ACL damage in his knee or something like that. I'm sorry for being rude, but I don't know the injury. Let's say his knee was fucked.
In layman's terms, yeah.
Yeah. So, but all credit to Dave. I'll give it. You know what I mean. Say what he wants about him, but he did.
Then he come back.
He did. Even on crutches, he turned up to training. He was taking mental notes. He still showed an attitude to do this when really there wasn't much down for him. But at the end of the day, Dave is quite. He won't give in. He doesn't give up.
Yeah. So that's in BWP. lost them recently as well, didn't you? Because I was there for that.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
It's bollocks, man. It's fucking bollocks. What else are you... So, we know you're wrestling BWP. Do you wrestle... Where else do you wrestle?
You can see me at Infinite Promotions across Merseyside.
Yeah.
Wrestle Island in Birkenhead. Coventry Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Basic style down in Wales. Where do I work?
You tell me, bro.
I
I mean, to be fair, most of the places you work, you've taken me with you, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like, I actually debuted for United Wrestling in Stoke last week. Pro Wrestling for You in Stoke. Me and David managed to worm our way onto the roster somehow.
Amazing.
But yeah.
Fair. So we know, as I've mentioned Dave before, but Dave's not the only big tag team you've kind of been in, because there was the 3BF thing.
3BF. Man, that was...
this was before I started. Do you want to talk us through 3BF? Because this is before I joined BWB.
Right, okay. Steve Saxon's brainchild was to have... It started out at a carnival where myself, Dan and Troy was basically just messing around. A carnival show is basically exactly what it says on the tin. It's in the middle of a field with rides, face paints, all that. Wrestling ring in the middle.
Surrounded by hay bales.
All
that.
Yeah, that particular one was as well, and like we was having like a bit of a break, and me, Dan and Troy was just, for lack of a better term, dicking around in the ring. And I think you can actually see the video on YouTube somewhere. Like Dan had his camera set up on the van, so we got footage of. I think Steve Saxon just seen it, pissed himself and went, you know what, I'm going to put these three guys together. And he said, like, I just want you to be the DX of Britannia Wrestling, but at the end of the day, like, we're not going to be DX because why would we copy him, As much as Dan might love Triple H.
Does he? I don't think he's ever mentioned it.
And the funny thing about that gimmick, like that helped me more than anybody else. Especially with Dan and Troy, like because they've been wrestling years longer than me, and I was kind of like hidden, and my personality was allowed to come out whilst learning on the job as well, which is really, really good for me as a performer, because for all I was getting in the door of places and things like that, I don't feel I was ready at that point.
Do you think that's like a really big thing, like from training to have, you can have like the best match with somebody in a training centre, surrounded by people that you know, but the moment you step through a curtain at an actual show and go to work a match, is that like two completely different things?
Well, yeah and no. I mean, like, your training environment can be different from school to school, as I know because I've probably trained everywhere in the Northwest. And you could have all your mates in your crowd, anywhere between half a dozen and 20 people. And you could just be making them laugh and they'd be reacting to everything you do because they know you as a person, and you're already, quotation marks, over with them. And they know you're a funny guy or you're a bit of a dick or whatever, you can buy into it. You can think you've had a dead good training match, when in reality you kind of haven't. Going to a show when nobody knows you have to establish yourself. I think that's different, because if nobody knows you and you can get them reactions, you can get them to love you, sympathise for you, want to batter you. I think that it's a completely different environment. You know what I mean?
So we said about you winning the tag titles as part of DTB. But I don't think I actually know this one, so that's why I want to ask is, what is your title history? Titles you've won?
Me?
Man, I have no idea.
It's a good question. So the very first title I won was the BWP Rookie Division Tag Team Champions with Dan.
Right.
That's 3BF. Then belts we won them off the YOLO squad.
Oh, legends.
2000 and it was either 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
Britannia used to do a summer run,
right.
So it'd be like every week for 6 weeks. I swear to God, we were at the YOLOs every week, and it was probably still to this day the most fun period I ever had in wrestling because it was just something new and dynamic like every week. A good thing about BWP, this isn't me knocking them. This is why I like working there because a lot of focus gets driven towards the main event.
Yeah.
Which I think's a benefit to the rest of the show, in the sense that people like myself on the undercard, mid-card, wherever, they benefit from it because you don't have producers of that show saying this is how we need this to be.
Yeah.
You have a
There's
bit
not
more
as much pressure.
Yeah, you have a lot more free reign to not do what you want. Obviously, there's limitations you have to work with. You can't just go out and picking plastic trees up and start fighting with them.
I understood that reference.
You can't. They give. Not saying you have carte blanche. You get direction, but you have a little bit more liberty and room to work with. And obviously, as performers, anybody will tell you.
Yeah.
You would. You know what I mean. The more you're allowed to do what you want.
Yeah.
The more happy you are. That's all in a space, man.
I can feel that. So that was the rookie division tag titles.
Yeah. I held the Coventry heavyweight title for a year.
Wow, fair play.
Yeah.
Didn't even know you got. I knew you'd held the belt down Coventry. I didn't know it was the big one for a year.
Coventry is it's a special place for me because they, outside of RWA and Britannia, they give me a chance, and
I've got a little.
It went well. When I really made my stamp and mark on that place is I wrestled with Delta Rush Jr. against the Hunter Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was that night or whatever. You know, we had the DISCL chat.
Oh yeah.
I think the match is online somewhere, but I couldn't get a word in. I was overwhelmed. Now I'd be able to react a lot better to it.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. But you know, kind of got a match to do with the guys that was in. But the Hunter Brothers being the pros that they are.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they get enough. Would you say that they don't get enough credit as they deserve? I think I saw a post that trying to praise them, trying to give them the praise they deserve a couple of weeks ago. And I kind of have to agree. I've seen them a couple of times, and they are good workers.
I've worked them 3 times.
Did they face you when they came up for Just Do?
No, they did the YOLO squad. But I wrestled them. Oh yeah, I left out Wrestle Midlands on my CV before. Yeah, me and Brandon Thomas has got we're in the title tournament.
Yeah.
We got them in the next round.
One thing
I'm really looking forward to
one thing I remember about Brandon Thomas, and that's why
legend.
Coventry as a place in my heart as well. That's where I started as a ring announcer. And on that show, I always remember Brandon. He comes out. I think he was in a hardcore match with Mr. Richards. He comes out. He's this big guy. He's like, "Well, this guy's empowering." Comes out. He goes this, big strut, gives crap to all these guys, and then he comes into the ring, takes his jacket off, and just goes, "Let me take care of that for me, please. Thank you very much." It's just a complete change of character, but no one was. It was just really like, "Oh, all right, yes." I was waiting him to come over and be like, "I can watch that." I was just like, "Okay." Yeah, really nice guy.
Great guy.
A good rep, good worker, really good worker. But yeah, you were saying.
I can't remember.
Tag teams.
Oh yeah. To go back to the Hunters, and I was so nervous to wrestle them. But Jim and Lee, they are really, honestly, inside, outside the ring, quality blokes. You know what I mean? You can say to them, without sounding like everybody's an arsehole in wrestling. I have yet to come across a real arsehole in wrestling, but when you're starting out and you're going through your match or whatever, and you're every 5 minutes, so would you like to this, like going into it like overkill.
Yeah.
A lot of people can go like, oh my god, and they roll their eyes and be like, this guy, like, just give me 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, they never once did.
Yeah.
There was more than like, no, if you need to go through anything or ask us a question, very open to it, very cooperative, and not saying that anybody's an arsehole in wrestling. That's hard to come by sometimes in wrestling. I feel anyway, and I'm guilty of that too as well. So at this point, I am guilty. I can be. I can be.
Can be guilty. Yeah. So that was the. Are they the only three then titles that you've won? Would be the PWP Rookie and then World Tag Team titles.
Do you know what? I try to think, because at the end of the day, I really don't like having a belt or a title is good. It is good, and it is a privilege and an honour to carry that belt for that company.
Yeah.
However, like, I always see my position on the card make the show better. So I always want to concentrate more on my matches than winning the belt.
That's fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's cool. That.
It's a good way to say it as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like
because most people I would think, some wrestlers go into it thinking only about the glory, winning, this title and this title,
I mean, like
reaching the top. But to go into it as being, I want to be entertaining as well. But that works in both aspects.
Some wrestlers, like, they have different motives at the end of the day. Like, for me, when I go into wrestling, right, I was like, realistic, like, am I going to do watching wrestling? I was 25 at the time, just got through playing rugby league because I was injured, and I needed something to do, so I started wrestling. Now, one thing that bugs me about wrestling at the minute, and maybe it was a bit more guilty for it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, like, as if like some people would walk around and be like, oh, you're not entitled to be a wrestler just because you're not good at it, or things like that. Like, I doubt Wayne Rooney sat in a changing room going, how dare Mr. Benson be playing Sunday League football? You know what I mean? Like, I doubt that's happening.
Yeah.
But like, I don't measure like my success on belts, things like that. I measure my success on like how people perceive me, and I mean that my peers in wrestling. So say like, I don't want to turn up to a show and someone go like, oh fuck, I've got Bert tonight. It's probably happened. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, it has happened. But my goal, probably my my gauge for success is probably more leaning towards being accepted by the boys and the girls, rather than, because I think you can get fans to like you. These days you can just go like, hey, look at me everybody, I'm a wrestler on Facebook. Because like, a lot of times fans don't know what wrestlers are really like. At the end of the day, I'm Father Christmas in wrestling. But you know what I mean, like the ultimate like John Cena type good guy.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'm no angel. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, you could be the biggest badass, like telling old grannies to F off and whatever, and like, I am literally like, I'm probably more like Bad Santa, like what was it, the film? You know what I mean? You're not Santa. You sit on a throne of lies. Like that's the way I. From Elf. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll never like tell your kids like fuck off or anything like.
I'd love to see that.
What I mean is like.
I'd love to see that. That'd be the ultimate heel turn for you, really, wouldn't it?
Oh god.
Coming out in metal and studs.
Heavy metal Bert. Complete 160.
Disco metal.
See, that's what I mean. Like a lot. Oh god.
Metal Bert.
You want to like see like people will go like Disco Bert. He must love disco music. Not all the time, but it's a common misconception.
Yeah, I was going to come on to this.
Bubblegum got in my car one time.
Yeah.
And they had like Kill Switch Engage playing.
Yes.
And he was going, "Is Kill Switch Engage?" I'm like, "Yeah, brother." Because I wanted to be in with a good wrestler. I'm like, brother. And he's like, are you a disco guy? I was like, nope. And like, somebody who understands this business so much. Still made that slip up. Like,
that's quite cool.
I went to Download Festival every year since 2009, you know. My favourite band is Slipknot. Like, my idol is Corey Taylor. Like, it's fucking...
It's just one of them things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. On the... So you already mentioned you tag team with... Your 3BF tag team with Dave. So do you prefer tag team wrestling as opposed to singles matches?
I love tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
I think there's a different like approach to matches. You can be like a bit banged up and injured and know that your partner's gonna have your back.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna, or even like when I started with Dan, like I basically owe my call it career to Dan Evans, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna go bashing training schools or nothing like that, but Dan basically said to me, look, this is where you need to go if you want to get anywhere. And he took me under his wing, and he kind of like gave me 2 years experience just by hanging around with him. You know, so like, I'm forever grateful for Dan Evans.
Yeah, if we're going to go on to the putting over Dan Evans section, I think I'm kind of the same with you, because I don't think... Because for one, I mean, you gave me my start in with ring announcing because of the whole thing in Coventry, but I wouldn't have known anything if it wasn't for Dan. Because I think when we were starting to gain traction about actually wanting to go to places, I added Dan on Facebook, said a couple of words, and then he told me about when Infinite opened up their gym, and it was through Dan, and that's how I got into wrestling anyway.
Yeah.
So I completely get what you mean.
God, like, you know, even
the legend,
even outside the ring, that guy's it's gonna be some sticky situations. But yeah, I mean, like,
Doritos. What?
No, we don't go into the.
No, we don't. No, that's definitely not for this podcast. Oh no.
But at the end of the day, like, that was it. Like, Dan, I'm not gonna be like, he's seen something in me, but he kind of approached me and said, look, so like, you know, you're a bit athletic. I think you should try this. Mm-hmm. Come along with me. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. And truth be told, I didn't like Dan when I very, very first met him. I didn't like him. Mm-hmm. I didn't. Let's just say a few people had whispered in my ear and said not very nice things about him.
Right.
And he was guilty through that. But you know, anybody who truly knows Dan Evans knows that guy will. Go for 3 days without sleep for you. Yeah. You know, he will do anything he can for you. So
absolutely.
I can't. You know, and if Dan wasn't around, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed wrestling and stuck around and stuck it out. Yeah. Truth be told, I probably would have got fed up with it and gone like, nah.
Move on. Next thing. Well, we're all thankful for Dan Evans. I think we might have Dan next on the podcast. I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead. Yeah. But apart from Dan and Dave, who's then your favourite tag team partner? Because obviously going for them two is the ones you've won tag team titles with. So I just want to see, like, if you had to pick your top three, and then the top two, who would your third be?
Are we talking like?
Oh, for every I mean, this is a tough question because I can only imagine the amount of tag team partners you've ever had.
Well, it was a one-time tag team. I tagged with one of the bruiserweights, CJ Banks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Who was quickly adopted as the Bruisermates.
Amazing.
And that was a one-time deal, and I'm sure like Juice used a dog as a weapon on the crowd. I took a disabled kid's crutch. Wow. He wasn't disabled, like he had like a broken leg or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was fun. It was me and CJ against Dan, D-Mac and Seth Skyline.
Right.
Who's the future of British wrestling, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting on the show very soon. So let's talk. So we talked about people you've been with, but people you've faced off against. So who's been your favourite opponent of all time?
God. Now, the easy answer for me, but we filleted him enough on this podcast, is Dan, because I've had every best experience in the ring with Dan Evans.
In total PG terms, by the way.
Yeah. Rampage Brown, he's up there.
Yeah.
I got to tag with him, like, I went to singles with him, I went to tag against him, and I think I did something else with him that wasn't a match. But
wasn't it like a 5-way or something?
No, alright.
Come back in the right.
5-way Fabulous. Yeah, he was so good. Like,
I mean, he's a legend of the business.
When I had that one-on-one with him, like, we opened the show, it was packed out Infinite. Ken Anderson was on. I got to do a promo the very first set, like, the crowd were there because they were excited to see everything. They were excited to see Ken Anderson, they was excited that it was a packed out Liverpool show. It was just one of them electric feelings.
Yeah, it was good.
And it wasn't even a very long match, like a 6-minute match, but I got so much from that match because, like I said, without going into too much, after the match I approached him and said, so, you got any like, feedback for me? And he was like, it was all good. And he was like, come on, please. Because you've got to take them opportunities when you can to pick the brains of them guys. And he kind of like, sit down. And he basically took me to school for about 5 minutes. And he probably threw about 40 tennis balls at me, so to speak. But like, I caught like 1 or 2 and carried them forward. And I went, like, that's another thing like I've got to say about like. But if you ask me my favourite opponent that I've ever wrestled one-on-one was Joey Hayes at the Camp Furnace show for Infinite.
Right.
Because he was like, let's just say, he was very professional that day. A joy to be around. So much fun. And I believe he probably got the very best out of me then. Because I was confident enough to work somebody with a name, a cred, or you know what I mean. I was confident enough to like in my own abilities and to put ideas forward and whatnot. You get what I'm saying? Like I was confident. I think that came out in my performance, and you know, even like a couple of weeks later, like he'd said like, "How good was that match the other week?" And I was like, so I was proud of that. Like I go back to that acceptance thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like. 100 wrestling fans can like my posts on the internet. Yeah. They do mean the world to me genuinely, but one of the boys like Joey or somebody like that saying that was good and I really like that idea. Or that what you did there was brilliant. That means more to me than anything because that's what I've always set out to achieve basically.
It's good, it's good. What was the you mentioned Kieran Anderson before. So can I get you to tell the Ken Anderson story of when he saw you for the second time and recognised you?
Yeah, he was like, it was because he worked that Infinite show, and it was the first match. He seen that. He came up to me in Rampage after the match, and he gave me a fist pump. He's like, good shit, and I was like,
I'm never cleaning this again.
You know what I mean? But is this called marking out this podcast? That's the definition of it. So I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even bother. A couple of weeks later, he was on the Coventry show. I ain't gonna lie, I'm Disco Bertie, Ken Anderson. He's wrestled The Undertaker and Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. He's not gonna remember me. However, I was like, "Hi Ken, nice to meet you." He said, "The disco guy." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice for you to remember. Yeah.
But then I felt like a dick for not saying, "Oh, nice to see you again."
Nice to see you again.
Because it just goes to show. I mean, like the cool thing about like Ken Anderson, I ain't gonna lie. The last time I seen him on TV, because I didn't really watch TNA or anything. Like I was sat there, like on the couch watching WWE because I've always watched it, 5 years earlier and thinking like, never in my wildest dreams, but I'd be thinking like, you know what, 5 years time, I'm going to be sat in a McDonald's in Coventry, not only have a kid, but be showing him pictures of my kids and he was showing me pictures of his twin girls, which was, you know, and at the time, like, so my daughter loved Mickey Mouse,
Right.
and his twins loved Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, sorry, and you know, so we had, you know, it was weird to have a conversation like that with a WWE superstar. You know, but like for a minute, like for 10 minutes, I forgot exactly who he was, and just talked to this guy who's got 2 kids, and it's just, and then it's like snap back, like, oh, that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So say Joey Hayes and Dan would be the best of your opponents. I know it was thingy, but you said Joey Hayes or Dan was one of your best opponents. But without dangerous territory on this one, we'll say what is one of the worst. I don't want to name any names because let's not get into shit here. But who's the worst person you faced?
So you want me to tell you who's the worst person I've ever faced?
I don't fucking know. Well, you can if you want to. I mean, you know, fuck it. Obviously, you're pretty sure you don't want to. That's what I'm saying. Let's just say, what's the worst match you've ever had?
Let me just say, I had an out of body experience and wrestled myself one time. It was the worst thing ever.
That's a good enough answer for that question.
I don't know. Like, to be fair, I am probably the worst person I've ever been in the ring with. I will say that because let's just say, some shows you work are not very high profile. The people who are there on holiday, you aren't going to go posting about wrestling when you get home, apart from the fact that they went to see wrestling and it was all fun. You know what I mean? It's not going to make any headlines. And I've completely shit the bed. Big time. You know what I mean? So, if we're going to say who's the worst person I've ever been in the ring with, it was me. You know?
Fair. Moving swiftly on from that topic, because that was, I feel like I could put my own foot in it with that one.
Well, let me put it back on you. Who's the worst person you've ever been in the ring with? Because you've been in the ring. You've been announced in rings.
I have.
You must have looked at matches and gone, God, these are shit.
I don't know.
It's me, isn't it?
It's not. No,
you motherfucker.
No, it's not. I don't know. I genuinely couldn't say. I said this. You know what I said this on one of our other podcasts was that like when I'm ring announced or if I'm doing commentary, as weird as it sounds, I'm not paying attention to like the quality of your match. Especially if I'm doing commentary, I'm just watching a match and calling it as you're seeing it.
Yeah.
And with ring announcing, I don't, even though I've got the freedom to lie back and relax, I'm still kind of, I'll crack myself thinking, oh, this is actually pretty good, this.
Yeah.
Or, but most of the time I'm just waiting for the ref just to tell us when to ring the bell. That was the majority of it, so without sitting down and watching every single show, I couldn't pick out a best or worst match I've ever seen. Which is hard.
See, a little trick I learnt from a certain Joey Hayes. He actually said to me, always ask Tony Knox, who's the photographer who anybody doesn't know, always ask Tony Knox how your match was, because he's at all the shows.
Yeah.
He's at all these shows, he sees all the matches, he photographs everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like, he's done this for years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So we're sat not too far away from the original venue of Just Do Wrestling, which you were promoting. What's the deal with Just Do at the moment? There's not been. Well, I mean, apart from the Sand show, that was the last show. Is there any future things happening with it? There's not been like a final show, but
it hasn't. But it's just an open book at the minute. Like,
this is
If we can handle that, say, I don't want Just Do to die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever will. However, it's a 2-man show. Like that I say it's a 2-man show, but what I mean is like there was only me and Dan, and which I'll wrap my brains to figure out how people can do it on their own, because at the end of the day, me and Dan had a good balance the way we worked. And I'll take the heat for the lack of shows, because at the end of the day, I couldn't put my all into it, because at the end of the day, for all I love wrestling, I love the fans, I love performing, my family's got to come first. And my actual real life job.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as maybe I want to put my real life job on the back burner and do it that way around, unfortunately, when you're walking away from a Just Do show with a fiver, I'm thinking, I didn't lose any money. Still, I couldn't deliver.
Yeah.
You know, as I know I can and I have. And it's like, I don't know how people perceive it, but running a wrestling show is a lot more than just turning up on a day, giving people some tickets, and as me and Dad were performing on the show.
I think I've learned a lot from the two of you guys running that, and listening to you guys talk about running that show, how much actually goes into putting on a show like that.
I mean, like when it's 8 o'clock at night, you've been at work all day, pissing down with rain, and you're walking around St. Helens with posters, pissed off and cold. Your missus is your own going, why are you not home? Don't know why you valid, you know what I mean? And you're just thinking like, just why am I doing this? Why? You know,
Why?
so like, I can't, because I can't deliver right now at 100% on that show. I'm not going to rob the fans of like a good show.
Yeah.
So it's just best. It's not like there's no other wrestling around here. You know what I mean? So let's just say it's not dead. It's not done. It's just not happening right now.
It's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
So what's what was your favourite so far? What's been your favourite Just Do show that you've put on?
Oh God, my favourite show was it the Just Do? I forget the name of the shows, but the Star Wars one.
Don't know.
May the Force be with Do.
May the Force, that's the one. See, it should have been.
Can I just say how cool was the Just Do names?
They were both. What was the other one? Was it Do or Do Not? There is no try. Didn't you say you wanted that one to be one as well? If you were ever going to redo Star Wars.
It was Let's Do This.
Yeah.
What's you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
The Temple of Do.
I'll be there for Do.
Yeah, that was the Friends one.
That was the Friends one. Jurassic Do.
He Who Does Wins.
Match of the Do. Match of the Day.
Jurassic Do? Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Which one was that?
Jurassic Do.
No.
It's like what you do after anyway.
the Jurassic
That's basically what. Do you know how hard it was? It was getting hard. It was getting so hard.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build? See, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could play.
Those names were out.
Like, if a film came out on the cinema, it was like, right, it's what everyone loves. You know what I mean? That's it.
I'm trying to subtly feed you answers, and he's just like, that's fucking awful. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Definitely not downloading this. Yeah. But
favorite shows.
There's two shows. There was the culmination of the DTB Gibson and Evans feud.
Yes.
There was the tables match.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of that. It was a good match.
It was.
But as a show, as a collective, what was it called? The Star Wars one?
May the Force be with Do.
May the Force be with Do was probably, from start to finish, the best show we ever delivered.
I'm pretty sure I wrote that one as well.
And under the circumstances as well, where it was like people getting injured, people unavailable.
Is that when you had big video?
No. That was funny though. Yeah, sorry, listening in is
Infinite Promotions owner.
Promotions owner and promoter Kieran McConnell and some dickhead in a blue hoodie called Banner. Happens to be my best mate. But yeah, that was a good, and the main event was Dave the Rave against Zach Gibson. God, that match had everything.
Yeah.
It was just. Do
Yeah.
you know what? I gauged the Just Do shows on. Like my mum is brutally honest. Like my mum is like the benchmark of a human being to me, and my mum will just call a spade a spade. And like she turned up to Just Do to have a glass of wine and give me a tenner. You know what I mean? And after that show, she was like, Robert, you know, I don't really get this wrestling, but that was a bloody good show. And I was like, God, made it.
As I can
Get out of the way, Vince.
That's happily done.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I think I've got down. If you want to wrap it up there and carry on drinking,
I'll just plug me Twitter
you do that.
at Bert Fabulous.
There you go. Anyways, that's all we've got time for. Bert, thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, pleasure
Thanks
to
for being my
pop
first
this podcast, Cherry.
Yeah, the first marking out.
You should have me and Dave on as a tag team on this.
I think we will do in the future, most definitely. Because we can't have you straight on. We can't have you the next ones on because you just beat us in the future. So,
And
most definitely in the future.
yeah, just a couple more plugs. You can catch me at Infinite Promotions, Britannia Wrestling Promotions, Coventry Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Midlands,
Basics.
What? Wrestle Island, Birkenhead. Don't forget to cast that out.
What?
Yeah.
All that jazz.
All that jazz, yeah. I can't. Oh, by the way, 2018. I'll be coming sailing to a venue near you soon.
There you go.
Come
dancing to a venue near you soon.
I'll be sailing, brother.
Sailing all the way.